Because, I just felt like the first time I heard Kevin Samuels, I was like, I've never heard that point of view before. That's so interesting. I couldn't stop watching. And then it's just like a rabbit hole. You're like, oh, that's what's going on in society. And yeah, I think it's really freeing as a woman, to be honest,
It
because
is.
I'd rather like know what's going on and then you can act accordingly. But when they're lying to you, how do you can't make a good decision without all the information. And that's what I think is mean about the Tradcons is they don't give men the right information. They lie. And
They
that's what I don't.
refuse to. They
Yeah.
want to avoid the right information. They don't want men having that or thinking about it. Excuse me.
So I was like, even if I had a 1% chance, if I had a 1% chance of getting divorce rates, if I was a girl and I had that, like, if I was a guy and I had the same, I had a 1 out of 100, there's a chance that she can steal your children, put you on child support for 8, like, ruin your entire life, call you an abuser. I'm like, would I do, even if it was just 1, I don't think I'd do it.
And the fact is that the state puts that gun in every woman's hand.
Yeah.
Whether they use it or not, you don't know, but they have the gun. And a lot of guys are starting to say, I'm not doing the gun.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I don't need to test her character. I'm not getting involved with somebody that can shoot me at any moment that she gets an urge.
Yeah.
And that's what they're dealing with. And these Tradcons do not want guys hearing that.
Mm-mm.
They want to pretend like the gun doesn't exist.
Yeah, and I just think it's lying. That's what I don't like. They'll create, and I get frustrated with academics because we all know that men, they do not fund men's studies. We all know this. Like, and if you actually were on the ground asking people these questions, I didn't come into this with all the same opinions, but you learn, like, I didn't think marriage was this bad of a deal, but it's like you interview 10 men, same story. She stole the kids. More than half my shit. I'm on child support for 16 years. Some of them had a kid that left the country. It's like,
Yep.
You're like, huh, would I sign up for this? I don't, and there's something, I'm sure you've had this, but like when you interview a guy who, it's like he's already dead inside, like that, like some of the guys I've interviewed, if they committed suicide in the next 2 years, I wouldn't really be surprised because it's like they just love their children.
Yep.
Like their children, you could just tell that was their world. Their family was everything to them. And one guy I interviewed, it's like he had tears in his eyes and he's saying, my kids are 2 miles from me and I can't see them. And you guys just say marry anyway. I can't in good faith like do that.
So for Tim and Andrew and Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson and Knowles and the whole crowd, fix the fucking courts and then sell marriage. But if you're selling marriage and ignoring what's happening in the courts, it's an evil. It's an evil.
Yeah.
It's an evil thing to do. It's like giving somebody an addictive drug or something that's going to harm them, not telling them about the side effects, not acknowledging them. It is evil. And these guys are doing it every day and they're monetizing it. It's horrible, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And that's what I question if they know. Maybe they're just ignorant. I don't know. But I don't think you can see what I've seen and what you've seen and what he's seen and push it as a solution. And that was the other thing. I at first thought that, oh, why don't you just, well, obviously you guys were marrying, I would watch Fresh and Fit and think, oh, well, they're Miami whores. Of course they're going to do that. Until, I even thought back to my childhood. One of my childhood friends, I was like, oh, her dad was enlisted, wasn't he? And her mom said he was an abuser. I wonder if that was even true. It wasn't. And that was crazy. I like went back and asked her and she's like, oh no, she's loony, but it's like the rumor gets out, but the truth doesn't always get around because it doesn't have the same effect. We saw that with Crowder.
Truth runs into gynocentrism. It runs into sugar and spice. And, can't say that. I'll say, okay, he's an abuser. That's the easy, simple answer to everything. And I don't see why men do it anymore. And they're increasingly dropping out. And I encourage them to. And I get a lot of pushback on that from people that say, oh, don't give up on marriage. It's, it's what has kept the fabric of society together for all these thousands of years is the family unit and the marriage, and we need to preserve that. Well, if you had balls and if you had any interest in the truth, you would preserve that by fixing the family courts, by electing politicians who would fix the family courts. They don't care. They don't care. They got their narrative. Guys are supposed to get married. They're supposed to have families. They're supposed to follow the whatever religion of choice these people have, and they're just supposed to shut up and obey. And it's like, I don't see how they do that and look at themselves in the mirror. I don't get it, honestly.
Well,
and I think they're well intended in some ways, but it's just like, how can you on earth do this? It's just mind blowing.
well, and it's just the stats. Even if you just look outside, it's not in our favor. I mean, when do you ever walk into a house and it's decorated the way the man wants? Ever? Yours? But that's an exception. There's a reason, like, you go into a house, it's always live, laugh, love signs. No guy wants that bullshit in his house.
Oh, no.
You know, and I'm like, how many women actually serve their husband? Like, the way that traditionalists say they're supposed to. You're supposed to be obedient to him in all things. How many of them raise the kids the way he wants? How many of them are in the school system and the parenting style that he wants, the house that he wants, the meals? How many learn his foods that he wants to eat? It's like none. And I'm not saying that if you're not a traditionalist, you want more of a partnership type. I'm not against that either. But
what's interesting is that I think that the partnership, what I've arranged in my life, is really the tradition that I like. It is a tradition. Women working and contributing and carrying responsibility and having authority and responsibilities in the home, that was the traditional arrangement for thousands of years. That didn't end until romantic chivalry entered the picture. And it started eroding that relationship. And now it's like, well, Your Honor, he slapped me once. No, I didn't call the police. Judges, boom, give her all the money.
Talked to one guy. She said he raped her the first time they hooked up 13 years ago. And then they had 2 kids out. It was either 1 or 2 kids. Really? Why would you keep? It doesn't really.
So she had children with her rapist.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Like, huh.
Maybe he was saved.
I'm like, and they show you the court documents too, a lot of these guys. And everyone keeps saying, oh, that's just an anecdote. But I'm like, how many states do I have to go in? I want to do, I'm probably going to do a video while I'm here that says, change my mind, you can legally kidnap a child. I bet you I'll get men left and right that sit down. It won't even, it's like every other guy. Or
they're not going to try to change your mind.
Yeah, no. Well, maybe a woman might. We'll see.
Oh, yes. A woman might, because all those guys are just anecdotes. I mean, anything that doesn't fit the narrative. I mean, you've got a narrative that is so ingrained, the romantic narrative in people's minds, that they lose their minds over it. You can't have an honest discussion about child abduction because of the narrative. You can't have an honest discussion about family courts or about the nature of divorce or what actually happens in them. You can't talk about women's nature, honestly, what women are like, or even what men are like, for that matter. You can't have an honest discussion about any of it. So everything has to be lied about when romantic chivalry is the model.
And you really put all of this back down to romantic chivalry.
I do.
Really?
Yes, I do. I think when you've got a servile model for men,
because it's a servile. Okay, sorry, keep going.
this crazy sort of everything is about the woman. Everything is about her happiness, her needs, her ambitions, her wants, her desires. Everything is about her. Nothing is about him. That is a sick model, fundamentally. It's very sick. It's very destructive. How can a man maintain self-respect doing that? The answer is he can't. So he has to stuff that and then stuff everything else. And he ends up bitter and angry and resentful and I think self-loathing at times. How can you have a functional society? We're finding out now, finally. It was in the 1800s. before we really had the romantic model take over marriage in the West. And we've done nothing but decline ever since. It doesn't work. And then when you add the courts to that equation, and the courts are in the romantic chivalry model. The guy's got to provide no matter what. I don't care if she's got $10 million and you make $30,000 a year, we're going to take half of it and give it to her. That's what they do. As long as we're operating like that, we can't expect that things get better. And I don't think relationships between the sexes are going to get better.
Yeah, and you can work from home now too. So I'm like, what
Oh
is?
my God, you can do.
I used to have like a call center, like I would do call center job, and it paid I think over 22 to 25 an hour. This was like 5 years ago before inflation.
Yep.
I mean, that's not bad, you know. You can do that 5 hours a day with kids.
Yes, you can. Well, but a real man wouldn't let you do that. A real man would take care of you to a level you didn't need to do that.
Is that hard? It's like not hard.
Well, it's not a matter of that. It's just unfair. You can't expect women to work and help with money or
things. They used to like basket weave, didn't they?
Again, I think we already covered that Oprah comes on it too. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't work through that. But this is what men believe is the way things are supposed to be done most of the